Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at the relationship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
And this is a topic that's been in the headlines for years and years and years.
Right.
But there's always seems to be something new popping up.
Oh, yeah.
And this time, it's a newly released audio recording and a few related news articles that we're going to be focusing on today.
Sounds good.
So, yeah, this is going to be a fascinating one. So one of the most interesting things that we have is this audio recording of Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, wow.
Made by the author Michael Wolff.
Okay.
You might know him from his book Fire and Fury, which gave us a pretty interesting look at what was going on inside the Trump White House.
Right.
And this recording was from 2017.
Okay.
And in it, Epstein is discussing his relationship with Trump, and he shares some pretty candid observations and thoughts about Trump.
Interesting. So in 2017, that means that Epstein was already a convicted sex offender.
Exactly.
He had pleaded guilty back in 2008 to charges of soliciting prostitution from a minor, so that he was still rubbing shoulders with powerful figures like Trump in 2017 is very curious, to say the least.
It really is. And on this recording, Epstein talks about how Trump would confide in him about his own staff.
Really?
Yeah, he specifically mentions Steve Bannon, Reince Priebus, and Kellyanne Conway.
Okay.
All major players in those early days of the Trump administration.
Right.
And what's interesting is that Epstein claims that Trump was actually speaking negatively about them.
Oh, he was bad-mouthing them.
To other people.
To other people.
So, for example, he's quoted as saying things like, Bannon is a scumbag, or Priebus wasn't doing a good job.
Wow.
It's pretty juicy stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like something straight out of a reality TV show.
I know.
All this drama going on behind the scenes.
But it also raises some serious questions about Trump's leadership style. You know, was he intentionally trying to create division within his own administration?
It's possible some people who worked with him have said that he had a habit of pitting people against each other as a way to maybe maintain control or just create chaos.
Right.
So it's worth thinking about how all of this connects with the broader allegations against Trump and the type of environment that may have allowed those accusations to happen.
Yeah, and it goes even further than his staff.
Oh, really?
Epstein claims that Trump told 10 people that Jamie Dimon and Carl Icahn thought that he was a problem.
Wow. Jamie Dimon and Carl Icahn. Two of the biggest names in business.
Exactly.
What would be Trump's motivation for sharing that kind of information?
Yeah, it's difficult to say for sure without knowing more, but certainly curious that he would feel the need to share these negative opinions, particularly if they were coming from people that he respected and admired. Maybe he was trying to use it to undermine his staff, or maybe to create a sense of urgency around his own agenda. It's anyone's guess.
It does seem to fit the image of a man who likes conflict.
Right.
Someone who enjoys drama and thrives on it.
Definitely. And remember, all of this is coming from Epstein, a man who knew Trump fairly well and was privy to a lot of his private conversations.
Okay, so it's not just gossip. It's coming from someone who is in the inner circle.
Exactly.
Wow.
Which makes his insights all the more intriguing.
Yeah.
And speaking of insights, this recording isn't the only thing that we have to consider today.
Okay.
There are also some recent news articles and claims by Michael Wolff himself that shed even more light on this complicated relationship.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's jump in.
All right. Yeah, this is where things get even more complicated and disturbing.
Okay.
Michael Wolff, the author who recorded those conversations with Epstein,
Right?
well, he's now claiming that Epstein actually showed him photographs of Trump with topless young women.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And it gets worse.
Okay.
He says these photos were taken at Epstein's Palm Beach home,
Oh, wow.
the same place where many of his crimes were allegedly committed.
So that's a pretty shocking claim if it's true.
Oh, absolutely.
It raises a lot of questions about just how close their relationship really was.
Right. I mean, we knew that they both ran in the same circles.
Yeah,
But if these photos exist, like Wolff says,
right.
it suggests something a lot deeper than just casual acquaintances.
And it really adds another layer to the whole story.
Oh, yeah.
Especially given the serious accusations against Epstein.
Definitely. And here's another twist.
Okay.
Wolff also claims that the FBI found these photos in Epstein's safe back in 2019
Really?
during that raid on his home.
But they never released them to the public. Why would they do that?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
There could be a few reasons.
Okay.
Maybe the photos were just deemed too sensitive to be made public.
I could see that.
Or perhaps they were considered evidence in an ongoing investigation.
Right.
And, there are always legal concerns as well.
Yeah.
Releasing evidence, especially something as potentially damaging as photographs,
Yeah.
it could compromise a case or violate someone's privacy.
Right. It really makes you wonder what else might be out there.
Exactly. What else has been kept hidden from public view?
Yeah, and it makes you think about all the different forces at play.
Right.
The legal system, the media, the power dynamics between all these powerful people. It's a real tangled web.
It is. And here's something else that Wolff mentioned that I found really interesting.
Okay.
He observed that Epstein was actually afraid of Trump.
Afraid of Trump.
Yeah, he said that Epstein believed Trump was capable of anything.
That's chilling.
It is. Think about it. Epstein, this man who was known for his wealth, his power, his alleged manipulation.
Right.
He was apparently intimidated by Trump.
What could Trump have possibly done that would make someone like Epstein nervous?
The good question. We can only speculate.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Trump's unpredictability.
Right.
Or his reputation for being ruthless in business.
Yeah.
Maybe Epstein was worried that Trump would retaliate against him if he felt crossed or betrayed.
It's a really fascinating insight into their dynamic.
It is. It shows that there was more to their relationship than meets the eye.
Definitely. It makes you really question the power dynamics at play here.
Absolutely. And it's not just Wolff's observations that paint this unsettling picture.
Oh, really?
There have been other recent developments, too.
Okay. What else do you have?
Just last week, a former model came forward.
Okay.
With some pretty serious allegations against both Trump and Epstein.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She claims that Trump groped her at a party, and she described it as part of some kind of twisted game that he and Epstein were playing.
So we want to be very clear here. These are just allegations.
Of course.
And both Trump and Epstein have denied any wrongdoing in the past.
Right.
But her story, it does add to a growing number of accusations against both men.
It does.
And it suggests a pattern of behavior that I think warrants serious consideration.
It makes you think about the environment they were in.
Yeah.
The culture surrounding them.
Yeah. Was there something about that world that enabled or even encouraged this type of behavior?
It's a disturbing thought.
It is. And then you have Trump's own words about Epstein.
Oh, right.
There's a clip from years ago where he's talking about Epstein.
Okay.
And he calls him a good salesman.
Really?
And he even talks about his assets.
Like his private island.
Exactly.
It's pretty strange to hear him talk about Epstein in such positive terms.
It is, especially given the serious crimes that Epstein was accused of.
It's one thing to acknowledge someone's business skills.
Right.
But to do so while seemingly brushing aside those very serious accusations.
It's jarring.
It is. And on top of that, remember how Trump was reluctant to release any files related to Epstein's associates?
Oh, yeah. He dragged his feet on that for years.
He did. And even suggested that the information in those files was probably phony.
Why would he be so hesitant to release them unless there was something in there that he didn't want people to see?
Exactly. It raises questions about transparency and accountability.
It does.
And it leaves us with more questions than answers.
So where does that leave us with this whole Trump-Epstein saga?
Well, we have this recording where Epstein claims that Trump was sowing division within his own administration.
Right.
And then these photographs that suggest a closer relationship than Trump admitted to.
Right.
And then you have the mounting allegations against both men.
It's a very complex and disturbing picture.
It really is. It's a story about power, wealth, secrecy, and serious allegations.
And it's a story that's still unfolding.
Exactly. We've explored some of the key details here today. And we've tried to connect them to some broader themes.
But like you said, there's still a lot of unanswered questions.
So what happens now?
Well, now it's your turn to keep digging.
Right. Think about everything you've heard today.
Yeah.
How do these revelations impact your perception of the Trump-Epstein relationship?
And what else is out there? What information might still be hidden?
Keep asking questions, keep searching for answers, and keep the conversation going.
That's it for this week's Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.